You look so good. You look so happy. You smile, and like when we spoke in October, and you were doing well. But I just feel like, I don't know. It feels like almost a little more sense of calmness in your voice and who you are.
Yeah, 100%, man. I also just moved down to the Gold Coast as well, down to yeah, and it's just I've just been that really working on myself and going to the ocean every day and just trying to feel that sense of calmness, and it feels really good. I guess for 3 years too, like I was just a bit like, you have that self-doubt when you're not releasing anything, and it's just that voice in the back of your head that seems to always like cloud you, when like it was clouding me whenever I would do something creative. So it feels really good for me now to just stand in my power and let it all happen.
It's so good because, chatting to you last time and kind of, had Venom out, and then kind of listening to the full body of work, like you really got an understanding of what you were saying, and like, honestly, like how hungry you were. Like listening back to this EP, it's like one of the most hungry bodies of work that I've heard in so long. Is that like what, was that what's going on in your mind when you were, recording this all by yourself in your crib?
I definitely feel that. Hey, like it was a lot of like hunger. Like I really, I wanted to do everything that I'm doing now, but, there was things in my personal life that would come up, like, looking after myself the best way I could as well. And yeah, I think that sort of put, hold on to my music, so but when I was making this project, like I definitely felt like, really hungry, like, felt like I had nothing to lose and just to put everything into it.
When you're listening to the music now, does it take you back to those moments? When you hear it, can you really feel the lyrics and why you wrote them still? Is it really still close to home?
100%. Hey, like sometimes when I listen back to it, or even if I'm doing a rehearsal or playing a live gig, it's almost like I can go back to that feeling, like, and that smell of that time, and like all the senses come back, so it's pretty wild. But I mean, to get it all out into this project was like a way of, like, I feel like it was a way of releasing it and growing, and then, changing as a person as well as an artist. So it's like a timestamp in time, of that time in my life. So yeah, it's really cool to see it be released in such a like positive light as well. And there's been so much love around it. So I think that's just, yeah, it's been really good.
I've seen like so much love going on for the EP and just for you in general, which is, amazing. Did it surprise you, or were you ready for it? Did you think this is what this EP was going to do?
I actually had no idea. Hey, like I had no idea how this would go or anything. Like, but from seeing it, like it gave me such like a sense of calmness. Hey, like I just really had no idea like what would happen. I was just sort of leaving it all into the hands, like whatever will happen will happen. And to see, it's just been, it's been really wild. It makes me hungry to release the next project now. Like I'm just like, oh, so you get a taste of it, and you're just like, oh, I can't wait to, show people the new stuff that I've been writing and working on, because yeah, like I was saying, some of those songs are, quite old. So yeah, but it's just been really cool as well to hear everyone's interpretation of it, and, hear the feedback and everyone vibing with it. Like even heaps of, it's just been beautiful, like from my community, like so many people are just like, we're just so proud of you, Jess. Like, and I think that is like what makes it all worth it. And, and like hearing that, like there's been just so many people in my life as well that are close to me that have just, said the most beautiful things, and, everyone's really proud of me. And like, I just didn't stop, and I didn't quit, and I didn't give up. So in a way, I'm really proud of myself as well.
You should be. You should definitely be proud of yourself. And it's dope to see that, I guess, oozing out and reveling in the excitement behind it. Let's talk about this EP and kind of like delve into it, because, last time we talked, we only had one single or two singles out from it. TROPIXX is the EP, XXX. The name, Where does it come from, the spelling? What was it?
I actually didn't name the EP for so long. Like I had so many different collections of songs. The track listing changed so long. Like it changed so much. And I was like, I just had no name for this project at all until about when I was sort of putting all the imagery together myself and feeling of where the videos could go and how I could, you know, tell my story in the best way. And then, yeah, TROPIXX came up for me with the XXX as well. It's just, in a way, I wanted to, you know, pay ode to, you know, my Fijian heritage as well through that. And I just thought that name is I wrote it down in my phone. I wrote it down on a piece of paper. I wrote it on a whiteboard just to see it. And I looked at it and I was like, yeah, like that's the one, you know, that's the name for this project. I feel like it just wraps everything up so nicely. Like the songs on the project too, like they have like a similar vibe to it. I feel like they have a similar hunger. They sound differently, like sonically, but there's still that similar, you know, vibe with it. And yeah, I wanted to further the title of the EP through the visuals as well. And I think Venom, for me, making that video clip was like, just got all the visuals right with TROPIXX on that video too. So, and then, yeah.
And I love that you know, there's so much thought that goes into it because, you know, when you finished this EP, you finished with the track, your last track, which is XXL, which I feel like could have also been called Demons, which also the EP could have been called Demons as well. Let's talk before we really jump into each track and what they were, but like where your headspace was in writing this EP, because I feel like it's almost worlds of difference between the girl, the woman, the lady that I speak to right now to what I'm hearing at the beginning, the hurt, these demons that were and that are inside.
Yeah. Like I've always used music as self-care, like my whole life. That's always been a way for me to release, get things out, you know, work through myself on it. That's why music for me is really personal, and writing these tracks like were very personal, especially with XXL. Like I sort of, you know, tell the listener that like I have been going through dark times, and then I feel like through that is tapping into that energy is how I wrote this project, you know. But it really did give me like strength and power, and it helped me out so much at a time in my life where I feel like I couldn't see through it. I feel like I couldn't see sort of, you know, anything. And now looking on from it, like the person I am today, like I just feel like so much calmer and just like, you know, like I feel like I got it all off my chest, you know, which is, I feel like I just needed to do it, and to do it with something like music as a tool to do that. Like I just feel really like blessed that I can do it that way, you know. And I'm excited to then take this project on the road and do the tour and see how the songs will translate into a live set as well. I feel like that, yeah. Just been bad. I'm really...
You're so excited for that. I can't wait to see you on the stage and get to actually perform these tracks.
Yeah, no, I'm like so keen. Hey, I felt like I've been waiting for this, man. Like for so long. I've just been, you know, waiting, and now I just feel like I'm finally unleashed, and it just feels really, really good. But you know, since making that, it's wild how much, like, you know, in my personal life outside of music, I just feel so much like, you know, in tune with myself and, you know, in my body, and feel much calmer. And it's made creating actually a lot easier as well. So, yeah.
The first track on the EP, Hidden with the Bass, you don't usually get such a amazing introduction track to who you are. Like within the first minute, you really get an understanding of who Jesswar is, what you're going through, and kind of what you want to say from this body of work. And then at that minute mark, all of a sudden, like you come in with that grunt. You go, got my mic in my lap, you got my people right beside me. And that's where it just levels up. That's where it was like, hey, this is who I am, but this is what I'm going to show you about.
That's mad, man. I love that. That track for me, I felt like I was really like, you know, very cheeky on that song in a way. Like when I first heard that part, the first part of that instrumental, it sort of sounded, you know, quite like chaotic, and then that bass line comes in and it's just like holds the song together and, you know, makes it ride so nicely. And yeah, so writing that one, that was a bit more of like sort of a cheekier side to me in that, and that instrumental is pretty different from all the other ones. It's produced by Harvey in Brisbane. He's so amazing. Shout out to Harvey. Absolutely kills it on the track and the bass. I remember when he sent me that beat and I was just listening to it and I heard the sample. It sounded like Mechanics or something. I don't know what it sounded like. And then on my speakers, when I heard that first bass hit come in, I was like, this is a song. I want to make something that's just like, you're just doing this the whole time, you know?
Well, and I thought that was so smart of you and really mature to not like, because this EP is so personal and you go deep and you talk about some really, you know, I guess some things that have been on your chest for a minute now. But that first track really kind of just allowed you to ease into what we were about to hear and get to know you without hitting you over the head with too many things. So was that always gonna be the first track? Like when you wrote that, when you sat down, were you like, this is the first track? It's a no-brainer.
I wasn't sure where that one would sit on the track list. When I would listen back to it, it was a really fun song. It felt like much lighter in ways compared to the other songs. The other songs felt like purpley, they felt quite dark, and this top one just felt like, you know, something fun. So I sort of wanted to start it like that and then, you know, end it. I can't remember what the end song is, but
Double XL.
Oh yeah! Wow, that's actually
the big
a great
song.
Way to start
Come on,
yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Just take me alongside whenever you do interviews or whatever, and you can just be like, oh wait, what did we put on number 3? Okay, yeah, cool. All right, perfect.
Yeah, 100%. And they were both actually produced by the same person, Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was cool to have that like lighter sort of vibe onto it. Then the end part of it sort of the beat goes a bit darker and it gets a bit remixed.
Mm-hmm.
And like originally, like I was like, I want to do a video for this song and like put this out as the first single, but I was like, it's only because I enjoyed listening to it. But I feel like, you know, I only had 3 videos, so I had to choose.
The second song on the track, Lay Low, also produced by Noah Harvey as well. He's got his fingers over this whole project, and you can kind of tell that, you know, and that's amazing that you get to work with, you know, the same producers, because congruently, it's why your EP also sits in that pocket and you can kind of listen through and go, all right, I hear the similar aspects from song 1 and song 5 and song 2 and song 3. You know, you got a line on this one, which I haven't delved into and done the research behind it, but were you the first person to say cunt on Triple J, or?
Well, I knew because I didn't, I'm pretty sure that they were playing the
explicit version.
And yeah, I thought of like the Kelly song, Bossy, when she has a line said, I'm the first girl to scream on a track. And I was just like, Khalees is like one of my favorite rappers. She's just amazing. So that's the line that I thought of when I wrote that one, you know. And once again, that's like in that whole vibe of being like cheeky and just not giving a fuck, you know, and writing a line like that. So it was, and also I thought it was quite funny to say in the song, but yeah, that's I thought of the Khalees line because that's like that Bossy song just it hits so wild, you know. And yeah, I wanted to translate that into my music and put that line in there as well.
I feel like this track, you know, I definitely felt the aggression in it and the wordplay. I felt like you were really talking about, you know, the doubters out there that you've probably had in your life, and I'm sure you still, you know, have around you. Is how much has that played in your, you know, I guess career, having people that have just not seen or understood the path that you are on?
It happens to like everybody, hey, like in life, in different workplaces, in different situations, you know, there's always going to be those people that going to throw hate on you and going to doubt you and going to try and hold you down until you stop working, So for me, I was feeling that a lot at this time when I was writing this project. That's why, like, even when I would feel it, there was times where I was like, I don't even know if I want to continue to do music, Like, this is like taking such a big toll on my mental health and everything. So that's why writing these songs, like, were therapeutic in a way. And definitely with Laylo, that was like, I was in such a mood that day. Like, I was in that big mood. And I really love like Noah's production too, because it's to me, it sounded like very different and unique. And that song is like 60 BPM. Like it's got like a rhythm where it feels like the whole song is in half time.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to sort of write something on that hook. Like for me, my favorite part of that song is the hook. Like I hear the verses now and I'm like, I wish I changed them.
Do you do that? Are you an artist that does that? Listens back and goes to tracks, oh, you know what? Damn, I had this other verse, or I should have done it like this, or do you kind of like separate yourself like, this is what it is, it's done, leave it be?
Well, I feel like it's done, but like I listen to the hook, I'm like, oh, like this song, like the hook is just, it really rides the beat, it complements the beat really well. But I was like, I just wish I rewrote those verses. Hey, like I just wish I like didn't, like it was just minimal words on those verses, because it would have helped for the song to mold more. Because I noticed when we play it live, like people vibe with the hook, but there's like a lot of things going on in the verses, So I hear it and I'm just like, ah.
You said on that track, I'm back, and you thought what did you say? You said, I'm back and you thought I left. I guess when you have a little bit of success with a song and people start to stream it and you start to get that love, have you had people go like, okay, yeah, she's just kind of a one hit, or like she's not going to come back from this, and does that, get to you if people do say that?
That's why I wrote that lyric.
Yeah.
Because I was like, lots of people were like, sort of being like, oh, are you ever going to release music again? Like, where is it? And I was just like, at a time where I was trying to release it, but it just wasn't happening. And it, when people are constantly saying that to you, and people that are, close to you as well say that, it can make you feel like, oh shit, like, make you go real inwards. So I was definitely feeling that at the time and self-conscious of that, because it's like, there was a big gap, and I felt like some of the things that I was making, I was like, oh, this is like fun to write, but I was like, I don't feel like it's truly like good enough, So it was, I definitely had that in my mind. And I think that added as well to like self-doubt. And like, even when I like first talked to you, like I was just, dude, I would just get so anxious all the time, man. Like before, because it just had felt like, so long, and I just was trying to get used to everything again. And so definitely in Laylo, that was in that mode. Like even like I remember recording that and I was like, man, I'm just so vicious right now. Like
don't nobody get in my way.
Yeah, I just felt like I had like lots of anger. Hey, like for real though, like lots and lots of anger. But after you get that anger out, it's like it's like a big release, and then you do feel like you come down from that, and it's like it's nice.
Yeah. Nah, it's a good way to put it, and then you drop, Medusa, which is track 3, and we got that the beginning of the year as a single off the EP. And this song, for me, as much as you are really, you show your aggression along your tracks, I felt like this was the most confident track for you. Like you really sat in pocket and you just felt at home. And it was my first track hearing, and I just went, yeah, I think you kind of know who you are now.
Definitely. I feel like with that sound as well, like it was produced by Dopant Beats and Paper Toy as well. And just like, that sort of like heavy sound, I was like, I really love this pocket to sit in here. I think it's like a really amazing way to tell stories. And I always thought about the live show and how this song would sound like, at a festival or on a giant PA system. And I think that energy as well, like to bring that, I really, that for Medusa, I was like, wow, I was like, I really like this pocket. And same with XXL as well. I think, you know, doing all those songs, I was trying to see was like, where am I going to fit, you know, like what sort of energy. But yeah, Medusa, like what I'm writing currently as well is the same sort of instrumentation, that same sort of vibe as Medusa. Too. And yeah, I remember just like, because I rewrote, like I always record a demo and then workshop it and rewrite the lyrics and stuff. And yeah, I knew I had the hook down. And then I worked on, you know, some of the verses, but I really wanted that hook to hit on the same part of the horns with the Take Money part, because I thought that was the most catchiest part. I was inspired when I heard that beat, you know. The most catchiest part of the song was definitely that horn hits, and I wanted to write something that really honored it.
This one came out at the beginning of the year, right before, about a month, just under a month before you were going to drop your EP. Did the reaction to this song allow you to get maybe a little bit more ease into knowing like, okay, this EP is going to get some attention because, you know, seeing what this track did for you?
Yeah, I was so excited to release this song and this video that worked, you know, like, I remember listening to the demo after I recorded it in my home studio, and I was just like, I just can't wait to show people this. Like, I just cannot wait to unleash this song. But yeah, I really I didn't know what to expect from putting this EP out. So then to see the release from Medusa as well, like it was just wild. And then I felt, you know, then we did XXL. That's one of my other favorites on the EP too. So
we'll get to XXL because that's the last track on the EP. But between that, we got number 4 is Saucy, James Angus on production. This was like a big old just middle finger up to everyone kind of out there, you know. Well, to me, that's what I took from it. You know, I feel like, well, once you start to get a little bit of recognition and you know, you start to pop a little bit, it starts to kind of change around you. People's way they handle you.
Yeah, 100%.
Is this that song?
Yeah, for real. Like, Saucy for me, like, is definitely like a big fuck you song. Like,
I was right.
Yeah. Definitely in a mood again writing that. I wrote that one in 2017, so that was ages ago. And I'd been playing it in my live shows for like years up until now. Like, so played that in every live show that I did too, most of them. But yeah, the beat was more laid back and it felt like sort of dark, and going back to those same feelings of being like, you know, overlooked, pushed down, like sort of just felt like I was losing it a bit. So I guess writing this music is that me reclaiming that power for myself and, you know, never forgetting who I am and why I'm here, why it is important for me to make art, you know? So yeah, it was definitely one of those songs that was much slower. Like James Angus' production is like phenomenal. It felt like the sort of piano keys as well felt really dark, and I wanted to have that sort of like groove feel with it, you know, like, yeah, I felt like it was a personal song too, like not something you would hear in a club or anything, like something that people would just listen to like personally in their car. A driving song. Really, it felt like people listen to it when they drive.
Yeah, you touch on jealousy in this, and I think in Australia specifically, jealousy also brings itself out in what we know, the tall poppy syndrome, and I feel like as soon as I said before, you do start to get a little bit of recognition and people start to take note, you know, we do see it pop its head every now and then. You experience that, you know, over the last, I guess, you know, 5 years or so?
I feel like everyone experiences jealousy in their lives, you know, it's a human emotion. Like, so, you know, I've experienced it so much in my life as well. And I think it was good to tap into my own jealousy. And then when you are in spaces as well, and, you know, seeing people that, you know, years would ride for you, and then, you know, their vibe completely changes. And it's like, you're not even on their radar anymore. It's fucking sad, man. Like, you know, that's probably like one of the most saddest things to see, I reckon, is like when that happens. And people think you're different, or you've changed up on them when, really that was never the case. So, and I felt like that too. And jealousy is something that can make you bitter as well. It's something that, can make you feisty. And plus and it's hard in this industry too. Like everyone's trying to climb to the top of this mountain. Everyone's trying to get there, So I feel like as artists, you're under a lot of pressure, especially if you're working your day job to support yourself and then doing this full time as well. Like it's a lot to take on, and no one prepares you for it. No one tells you that, you may experience some really fucked up, hectic mental health from this.
Yeah.
Like that's never really ever talked about. So I feel like at the end of the day, like we're all trying to get there and we're all trying to go to this place, and we can be so harsh on each other too. I think I feel like I was at a place where I was just done, like just really like done with it all. So yeah, now, but I look back now and I'm just like, I feel for all creatives, like the difference between how I felt then and how I feel now. Like I get it, and I feel for, people working hard in this industry, because it can be fucking soul crushing at times, but at times it can be really beautiful and rewarding. And there are things like, releasing this project and how much, positive and like love and feedback I've got from it. So
well, I feel like, and that's what, I'm really excited for, what you do next, because this body of work for you, in my opinion, is going to be a relief of a lot of those feelings that you're just talking about right now, because you break down these tracks and a lot of them come with the fact of, you being haunted by having to prove people wrong and how you've been handled or dealt with. And as we get through this, and like I said when we first started chatting, I feel like this has allowed you to really let go of some of that stuff and to really go, that's behind me. Now let me just create and continue to move on. And I feel like each track as we go through this EP is you going, all right, fuck those people. You guys can hang back there on EP1 and you can hang back there too. And then we'll continue to move forward.
It was definitely like that, like getting that out and then, moving on. Like, plus I think of myself back then and being, sort of just a bit lost in it all, like, and just sort of not knowing what way I'm going to go, what direction I'm going to go, not knowing that. And, writing these songs was like me writing my own map and my own guide to get out of there, and now like this stuff that I'm writing now is like completely different from that. So like personally for me, it has helped me so much in my life to make this and make these videos and, get it out. But also from that, like it's given me so much power, man, like complete power. Each song has given me so much power to go on to. So even though it came from a place that was like, quite hard and it was struggling, like when I'm finished and made them, like it just gave me like, nothing but that strength. And yeah.
Venom, song number 5. We're almost at the end of this EP. Do you feel like this track, allowed you to get the credit? Do you feel like this was one that people took note of and really went, okay, Jesswar is actually, the real deal here? I
feel like for Venom, like I just wanted to write like punchlines and like heaps of them and just like
facts.
I really and like, I just wanted to test my writing skills and see how I would rewrite all the punchlines and see like what is like the best way to deliver them, like what's the best way to word them, And so for me, like working on that, it was creatively like a really fun experience too, like because I felt like I was just writing and playing wordplay and metaphors. It was and it's just like that cool, like when you're writing music and then there's that thing that happens where it's just I sort of get it. It's like I'm writing in my phone. It's like I feel like I'm not there, but my hands are just moving. like literally at like super speed. I'm just like this, like when I'm writing, stuff where it feels like easy and flowy. Like there's some songs that I can write. It just feels like, you know, it flows really nicely. It's just coming out like a waterfall, or others where it's like, all right, I really need to focus and sit on this and figure out how is the best way to write this song.
Yeah, and you wrote this song just to haunt them in their dreams, is what you said. And punchlines is the best way to do that, because it's what you remember. And they would be listening back and they would just be like, damn, she said that? Like, really? Fuck, okay.
Yeah, I feel like it was like, you know, when you hear a song and it's like in your head constantly, and then before you go to sleep, like that song is still in your head. Mm-hmm. The moods I was in when writing this EP, I just thought that was like a really nice line to just put in there, just write it there. And
your final track on the EP, Double XL, produced by Noah Harvey as well. He started off the production and he finished off the production here at the end of the EP. Feel like this was a very recognition track. Feel like this was, you know, it kind of summed up, I think, maybe even like what you were trying to get across in this EP and in your music. You know, I love the recognition of women and females. Very important, especially in any time. This has got to be one of the most important times. How important is that, I guess, aspect of what you do and why you do it?
Like XXL I wrote was just originally, I wrote it in lockdown, and originally it was just going to be a video I was going to post on social media as well. I was just going to post on my Instagram, like got Harvey to make the beat up for it. And yeah, then I was like, actually, I don't like, I remember I wrote the first verse and I was like, I don't want to just throw this up on Instagram. Like, let me see if I can turn it into a song. And it just came out as like straight verses. There isn't really a hook. It's just a line that's repeated, like in the start, the middle, and the end of the song. But yeah, it was literally just everything that was on my mind. You know, right at that time, at the start of last year, I was just about to release this project. We were originally wanting to release it at the start of last year. So it was just, yeah, everything that was on my head at the time. And I really wanted to play with different like rhythms and different flows within it as well, and just really push myself like with my bars too. Like that song wasn't a song that was easy to flow with. Like XXL took a bit of time. I wrote so many lyrics for it too, and it's sort of, I took parts out here, I put things in there. Like it was just sort of like that. I think I spent it took me 2 whole days, from like complete whole days, to make it. Like I'll just stay in there like on my laptop,
just cooking,
rap. So it was, and yeah, and I finally like finished it. I was like, oh, this is my favorite. And I think it is my favorite track from there because it's the most current made song as well. Like I made it in March of last year. So all the other ones were made quite like 2018, 17, 18, and 19, you know? So
So this is the closest, the currentness to what we will continue to get from you. Is that what you're saying? For sure. I was like, because I really, why I think it's my favorite song is I just really love the lyrics on it. And I think it's the most mature track. I feel like it's the most well put together, and kind of like I said earlier, I feel like as you kind of went through this EP, you really, you know, I guess you picked the strongest tracks, and as you kind of aligned them, you took us on the journey to the closest to where you are right now, which I feel like is the strongest that you've ever been. So that's what I got from this last track. It was real, like, leave us with that power.
It was very much, I feel like, yeah, like I've been through this, but like I'm still not going to give up. I'm still going to go. It's all good. Like I've acknowledged it. Now let's move on. I feel like that was like the, you know, perfect way to wrap up the EP as well. And yeah, it's the most current song that I wrote for the EP too. So yeah, it just makes me excited to like, cause after like doing that project, I'm just in such a really nice flowy space creatively. I just can't wait to show everyone the new stuff I've been working on as well.
Well, Jesswar, as I've told you before, you've always got a home on the DSP, and this EP is such an amazing introduction to who you are and, you know, what you're going to continue to do. And I am personally very excited to see, you know, what comes next from you. But just relish in the amazing product that you've put out now, and keep just growing and inspiring and enjoying what you get to do.
Thanks for having me on the show again too. Thank you.